Hey there, fellow viewers. Today, we have some breaking news that's shaking up the political landscape in the Middle East. Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, also known as MBS, is making bold demands as he negotiates a historic deal involving the United States and Israel. In a dramatic shift in Middle East diplomacy, Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, commonly known as MBS, has made securing U.S. and Israeli commitments on the creation of a Palestinian state a key condition of normalizing relations between Saudi Arabia and Israel. This represents a major departure from the traditional Saudi position, which has long called for a resolution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict as a prerequisite for full Arab normalization with Israel. MBS's demands come as he negotiates a historic deal that could reshape the geopolitical landscape of the Middle East. The Saudi Crown Prince is reportedly seeking ironclad guarantees from Washington and Jerusalem on the establishment of a viable and independent Palestinian state with East Jerusalem as its capital. This new stance reflects a pragmatic calculation by MBS that Saudi Arabia's regional interests can no longer be held hostage to the decades-old Israeli-Palestinian impasse. According to sources familiar with the negotiations, MBS has stressed that without credible progress on the Palestinian issue, Saudi public opinion will not accept a normalization agreement with Israel. The Crown Prince has emphasized that he needs to be able to sell any deal to the Saudi people as producing tangible benefits for the Palestinians, not just for Saudi Arabia. However, the details of what such commitments would entail remain to be worked out, with thorny questions around borders, security arrangements, and the status of Jerusalem still unresolved. At the heart of MBS's shift is a calculated reassessment of Saudi Arabia's regional security environment and the kingdom's long-term interests. The Crown Prince has come to believe that the unresolved Israeli-Palestinian conflict continues to be a destabilizing force in the Middle East, fueling extremism and providing a rallying cry for Saudi Arabia's adversaries, most notably Iran. The kingdom's traditionally staunch support for the Palestinian cause is deeply embedded in Saudi national identity and religious soft power. Any perception that Saudi Arabia is abandoning the Palestinians in pursuit of narrow geopolitical interests could undermine the Crown Prince's standing both at home and in the broader Arab and Muslim world. This complex balancing act is reflected in MBS's messaging, which has emphasized that Saudi Arabia remains committed to the Palestinian cause while arguing that a new approach is necessary to achieve a just and lasting peace. The Crown Prince has sought to frame his demands for U.S. and Israeli commitments on a Palestinian state as a means of safeguarding Saudi interests, not abandoning them. On the security front, MBS is believed to be seeking ironclad assurances that Israel will not take unilateral actions, such as further annexation of Palestinian territories, that could undermine the viability of a future Palestinian state. The Crown Prince also wants guarantees that Israel will refrain from military strikes or other destabilizing actions against the West Bank and Gaza. In exchange, Saudi Arabia would be willing to take significant steps toward normalization with Israel, including the establishment of diplomatic relations, the opening of commercial ties, and potentially even limited security cooperation. However, MBS has made clear that these concessions are contingent on tangible progress being made on the Palestinian issue. Politically, the Crown Prince is pushing for a renewed U.S. commitment to the two-state solution, with clear parameters around the borders, status of Jerusalem, and other core issues that have long been stumbling blocks in the peace process. MBS wants the Biden administration to use its diplomatic clout to pressure both the Israelis and Palestinians to return to meaningful negotiations. Crucially, the Crown Prince is also seeking a public statement from the U.S. and Israel that would outline the contours of a future Palestinian state, including its capital in East Jerusalem. This, MBS believes, would help legitimize any eventual normalization deal in the eyes of the Saudi public and the broader Arab world. MBS wants to be able to say to the Saudi people that he has extracted real concessions from Israel and the U.S. that will tangibly benefit the Palestinians, explains Sami Al-Faraj, a Kuwaiti security analyst. He knows he can't sell a deal that is seen as just about Saudi interests without that kind of payoff for the Palestinian cause. The Biden administration has responded positively to MBS's demands, recognizing the strategic value of bringing Saudi Arabia into the normalization process with Israel. However, the U.S. also faces significant political pressures at home, with progressive Democrats in particular pushing for a tougher stance toward Israel over its treatment of the Palestinians. MBS has signaled that he is willing to be patient and persistent, believing that the long-term benefits of normalization with Israel outweigh the short-term political risks. If MBS is successful in extracting meaningful U.S. and Israeli commitments on a future Palestinian state, it could have far-reaching implications for the geopolitics of the Middle East. Such a deal would represent a major recalibration of the traditional Arab position on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, potentially opening the door for other Arab states to follow suit and normalize relations with Israel. This, in turn, could significantly strengthen the U.S.-led regional security architecture, enabling greater coordination and cooperation between Israel and key Arab allies like Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, and others. From the American perspective, such a development would be a major geopolitical win, bolstering Washington's influence in the Middle East and providing a counterweight to the growing assertiveness of Iran and its proxies. However, the potential risks should not be underestimated. Any perception that the Saudis and other Arabs have abandoned the Palestinians in pursuit of their own interests could spark a serious backlash, both among the Arab public and in the wider Muslim world. This could embolden extremist groups, fuel anti-Western sentiment, and potentially even destabilize some Arab regimes. Moreover, the details of any U.S. brokered deal will be critical. If the commitments made to the Palestinians are seen as insufficient or lacking in meaningful substance, it could undermine the credibility of the entire normalization process and leave Saudi Arabia and other Arab states vulnerable to accusations of betrayal. Ultimately, MBS's gambit represents a high-stakes diplomatic gamble. The Crown Prince is betting that by taking a more assertive stance on the Palestinian issue, he can secure tangible benefits for Saudi Arabia while also creating new opportunities for regional cooperation and stability. But the path forward is fraught with political and security risks that will require careful navigation in the months and years ahead. Stay tuned for more updates on this evolving story, and let's hope for progress towards a lasting peace in the Middle East. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for all the latest updates on this developing story. Until next time, stay informed and stay engaged.